Good morning, Sport Matters. It's day after the announcement of the new federal cabinet, and I just thought I'd reflect on a couple of things. First, the logic of making a cabinet is sometimes lost on Canadians. It's a mixture of balancing representation of different groups in different parts of the country with the direction that the Prime Minister and the government intends to move. And in the past, sometimes we've wondered what that meant for sport, and there hasn't been a clear signal. And this time, I think it's a little different, frankly. I think we have a very interesting situation where the new Minister of State for Sport, Gary Lunn, has been handed the full authority to deal with all aspects of the file. The sport policy, the Vancouver 2010 Games, the bid for 2015, the responsibilities around the World Universiade, the relationships between provincial and territorial governments. Yeah, he has the full mandate to provide leadership on the file. And in relation to that, though, I think there are two other key ministers. One is James Moore, the Minister of Canadian Heritage, who's an impressive fellow and someone who's, again, familiar with the Vancouver 2010 file, and someone who's seen as a rather progressive thinker and someone who does have some ideas about the role of government and the role of citizens, the role of the private sector in advancing important issues for Canadians. The kind of guy that you could sit down and talk to about growing the economic contribution of Canadian sport. For example, could we contribute as much as 2% of GDP and set a target to do something like that? Could we grow the impact of Canadian sport on the identity and heritage of the nation? He's the kind of guy you could approach with something like that. The other key minister, I think, is the Minister of Health. This is Heritage and Akluqqaq from Nunavut. This is an experienced politician, again, having been the territorial finance minister for some time, and someone who's, again, thought of as bringing new, fresh ideas to some of the key public health priorities that Canadians are facing. And I think there's an opportunity there to start talking about a closer link, especially as it relates to physical activity and health promotion, what it means for our northern and rural communities, and in particular the challenge of involving Aboriginal peoples in sport participation and increasing physical activity rates. So I think there's it's a rather progressive group, frankly, and I think this triumvirate of Minister Lunn as a leader with the support of Ministers Moore and Akluqqaq, I think is a very interesting situation. So we'll be looking to work with them, of course, and we'll also be looking ahead to the speech from the throne, which is about 18 days away, and what the speech says about sport and its place in the next Parliament. Okay, that's my thoughts for the day, and surely we'll be back again next week with something more. All the best.